Hey, good Thursday morning, everyone. It's Eric here, and let's do a video blog all about the severe weather threat later on today. We had a bumpy evening last night with some heavy, gusty storms around the region, some heavy rain, a lot of lightning, some small hail in a few spots. But generally speaking, the storms last evening were below severe criteria. They were big and loud and produced a lot of rain, but didn't necessarily bring damaging winds or large hail. That could change this evening, although it's not a slam dunk. So let's talk about what's going on today with the forecast. We are kind of near a boundary this morning. The same cold front that triggered the showers and storms last evening is just sort of hanging around right now. It's going to lift back north as a warm front as we go into the uh, the afternoon today and into the evening. It's going to kind of retreat like this, allowing us to get firmly into the warm sector. And when I say warm sector, it's legitimately summer-like in this warm sector today. Check out the dew point temperatures. We are talking about dew points in the lower 60s in Columbus, Cincinnati, and points south and west. So this is in July. This wouldn't be a huge deal, but for this time of the year, it is kind of a muggy air mass. It's also a very, very warm air mass. Temperatures this morning locally are in the lower 60s, already close to 70 in the lower Ohio Valley. And temperatures today will really be off to the races, I think, across the midday and the afternoon. This warm air is going to push in, and we're going to make a run at 80 before the day is through. So we've got the warmth, we've got some humidity, and we've also got a trigger. We've got this front, this cold front, out to the west, getting set to come east. And this cold front will be the triggering mechanism for showers and storms. I do think that rain is likely at times this evening, but the big question is, does the do the showers and thunderstorms get feisty enough to prompt severe thunderstorm warnings, to produce large hail, and that sort of thing? And that's a question that is kind of a tough call this early in the day, and I'll kind of explain why here. First things first, we do have a couple of showers and even some thunder off to the west this morning around Richfield. And while we're mostly focused on this evening for the threat for some heavier storms, if you have outdoor plans today, if you want to mow the grass today, walk the dog, if you have anything to do outdoors, have that Storm Tracker 21 app ready because there could be some real spotty shower and thunderstorm activity. It'll be random. It's hard to say who's going to get it, who's not, but you can track all that on the interactive radar on your 21 Storm Tracker app, and you can see that there's some random stuff out here to our west, and I can't rule out the occasional random cell for the rest of the day today. But again, our focus is mostly on this evening. So let me clear this out and show you that the Storm Prediction Center does have an enhanced risk. That's that kind of orange color across northwest Ohio, southeastern Michigan, into northeastern Indiana. This is where the severe weather risk is highest today. This zone out through here is where they're particularly concerned about hail, damaging winds, and perhaps even some tornadic activity as well. When we break this down by type, these are the odds of a tornado within 25 miles of any location today. As you can see, they've kind of pinpointed southeastern Michigan as having the highest odds, up to maybe 15% the chance of a tornado within 25 miles of any spot through here. We are in a much lower risk throughout to northeast Ohio, northwest PA. We don't want to totally rule out an isolated tornado later today, but I do think our odds are quite a bit lower of any sort of stray tornado locally as opposed to our neighbors to the north and west. So that's the tornado odds. Here's a look at the large hail odds. Highest again to our north and west, but we don't want to rule out some hail here this evening. Our number one concern with any feistier storms this evening would be wind. Here's a look at the odds of damaging wind gusts. 30% contour out here across parts of northwest Ohio, southeastern Michigan, parts of Indiana. That's 30%, and then we're down into the 15% contour here in the yellow across northeast Ohio. So notice that's our highest risk this evening. With any storms, it would be damaging wind gusts that have the highest odds. So let's take a look at the modeling here. Take off my illustration. What we're going to show you here is the high resolution, what we call the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh, showing us what the radar should look like generally speaking as we go through time. Again, real stray activity for most of the daylight hours today, real isolated stuff. Most of this is going to hold off until this evening, but you're going to notice something as we go into the evening. And this is something that's going in our favor. It's good news. Because this is kind of arriving pretty late in the evening, past the part of the day that has the peak heating, I don't think conditions are as favorable locally, as I just showed you, as they are to the north and west. And the high-res modeling is showing a lot of this activity trying to fall apart some as it comes east. This is 6 o'clock this evening, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Notice that initial line shown by the model here kind of fizzles out. And then it has a secondary line getting going later in the evening. Here's 11 o'clock in the evening, midnight, 1 a.m., but it doesn't look super crazy to me. So, I don't want to discount completely anything today because I do think our risk is certainly elevated of severe weather. But here's another high-res model showing 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock this evening. We're still dry. This is pretty slow. This is probably a little too slow, in fact. But it shows the same general idea, whatever the timing is. Things just don't look that impressive as they roll through the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. So that's something we're going to be keeping a close eye on all day today. Will the late timing work to our benefit and these storms lose some of their punch as they come east? I don't want to, again, totally discount things this early in the day. We've got a long day ahead of us. We want to see how the atmosphere evolves. But right now, I'm encouraged by some of what I'm seeing in the higher res modeling that our risk may not be crazy high this evening, mostly because of the late arrival. The atmosphere is not quite as unstable. So we'll see how things transpire. You're going to want to follow me for updates throughout the day. Jess Briganti is back today. Follow her on social media. She'll have an update on TV at noon. And I'll be doing Facebook Live videos and everything else you come to expect from me. I'll be all over it here on social media and our website and our app as we go into the afternoon and the evening. All right, have a great Thursday, everyone. Enjoy the warmth, close to 80 this afternoon.